All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting this show once again today here on the DYOR Media Network. That's where all the hot stuff's happening. That's where all the good things go on, and that's where all the best content comes from. That's why we have thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers that want to watch us.
I love it.
That want to watch us. And they just need to see it and experience us. But anyway, Pedro, thanks for that introduction. We've got some good stuff here today. It's Friday Fun Day. That means we had a good week this week. We had a couple of interviews this week, getting some good social media traction, had some good views and all that. So we really enjoy everybody that tuned in earlier in the week to listen to our guests talk about their areas of expertise. Spent most of it on mining and the industries behind it. So that was good. Go back and watch our episodes. I would pop them here and here and here. I just noticed my videos aren't running of Kolia, Zach, and Caitlin over my shoulder here. Normally they're talking there, but they are stopped. Anyway, so we had some good content this week. We had some good viewership. The show is growing. Slowly, Pedro, just ever so slowly. But it all counts, ladies and gentlemen, and it all counts because as we grow, we get to do more things. We get those YouTube earnings up now. I think it's going to be $2 this month. $2 whole.
Oh, snaps! What?
If you can believe it, $2 whole. Yep.
Dude, $2. But from 7 cents to $2
right.
is not bad.
I know. We're rolling now. We rolling. But anyway, some good stuff to talk about today. Namely, the knuckleheads at Safemoon. Are they going to pack it in today? Uh-oh. We've got...
they're going to hold out.
Alyssa Morgan says, hey, how are you?
What's up, Alyssa?
Yeah, let's see where this is going to go.
She's going to give us...
Thanks, Alyssa. Thanks for the engagement. Really appreciate it. If you're listening to us for the markets, stay tuned. We got a good show for you.
Absolutely.
Although we got Space Cat in here, and I think I've got this right here today.
Come on. There we go.
Space, the final frontier. Thanks for watching, Space Cat. Really appreciate it. Strangely enough, though, like I said yesterday, I was redoing my audio routing, so I don't have any trouble. And as you know, you pop up right away. We're not doing the hey, can't hear you, this kind of stuff anymore. But now I can't hear any of the sounds on my deck. I can't hear my sound effects. I can't hear anything else.
No.
I missed the whole thing for Space, the final frontier. But anyway, so we got a good show for everybody here today. Talking about Safemoon. Safemoon finally syncs. Pedro, this Safemoon thing is just a great story, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more today. But one of the important things I wanted to talk about, because that's what most of our viewers want to know about, is the markets. And BTC this week, while last week it jumped up a lot, this week it kind of consolidated. It kind of, when you had your daily chart up, kind of went up and down a little bit, but the time frame here. Well, I'll just get my whiteboard out.
Pull it out.
This is the daily chart here, right? These are each one's a day.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So if you look at it in the week, it just kind of consolidated after a little bit of a sell-off when I think just one group was selling everything off. So it's a week of consolidation, which is a good thing usually. It means no one's in a panic to sell, except that one guy there 6 days ago or 5 days ago. And the market's just on cruise control. In the FOMO news, sorry, I'm messing with my T here. The FOMO news about the ETFs is, in my opinion, out of control. It's so out of control.
Well, the best thing is, even today, BlackRock, earlier this week was talking about how Ethereum is just going to skyrocket and outproduce Bitcoin, which it will. But the thing is it going to be a greater market value? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have greater market cap with BTC over, or excuse me, not BTC, but with Ethereum over BTC for like maybe 20, 30 years. But as if, but like as of right now, like, no, it's going to be a minute. Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on, because you have the
You
ETF
know what?
going
I was
on,
reading
right?
one article yesterday that said the ETFs and the halving this year, halving, however you have it, are priced in already. And the market, as we all know, the market is extra super efficient, right? I mean, it prices in everything long before you know it, because someone's always ahead of you, and none of us listening here are ever the first in anything at the markets, although we hope we are, and so it's priced in. This article went to say, I think it was one of the guys, like what's the guy's name from BlackRock? Flink, whatever his name is.
Yes.
I think it was him or somebody in that organization said, "Yeah, we're not so worried about it. Everything's already priced in already." And I thought, wow, if that's true, that means the sell the news is going to be massive.
Yes.
It'll really put it, because everyone, there's articles saying it's going to go to 80,000. One guy said it's going to 10x. It's going to bring in so much money, it's going to 10x. And in the same article, it said could bring in $72 billion. And I'm like, $72 billion, that's nothing in the BTC market cap. And so I'm like, wait, it's like the writers, either they've just tossed everything into AI, GPT-3, not GPT-4.
Which is
or they're hiring 21-year-olds right out of school that just don't know anything, and they're just like, write this article and hope people read it.
Or 40-year-olds who just don't know anything, or 50-year-olds who don't know anything. I mean, because the thing, like you said, like 42 billion isn't going to be jack. I mean, like legit. Like when we consider that you have a stock, I mean, and that's how I'm talking about it. Like if you had a stock that was worth $1 trillion, let's say, i.e. Apple, right?
Right.
Like you throw in 42 billion, it's more of a hiccup. It's like, oh, snaps.
Right, they barely even notice it on the charts anymore.
Yeah, like it's just because so much trading going on.
I know, it's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand the news organizations putting it out, because as we all know, my reach with the network in general, and then the reach with our show is growing, but it's not that great. But I like to at least say we're somewhat accurate in what we say, my opinions aside. But these major news organizations, like, let's see if I can bring them up here. Oh, we'll see if we got this right. Oh, look at that. I got it to work right.
Yeah, go
ahead. Now I have to find the screen to scroll that.
Well, just even hearing, I mean, when you just, as you're going through that, when you consider just the market value or the market capitalization just within the markets, right? I mean, BTC is the smallest guy out there. Crypto is the smallest guy out there, right?
Right.
And even then, we're still talking trillions of dollars, like in our market value. I mean, I think it's like $1.8 trillion right now in all of crypto. I mean, at least tradable crypto, right? You always have the crap coins that explode into billions and then drop back down to, 20,000 in maybe 6 months. But I'm not going to talk about those things. Anyways, but I'm talking about like the Solanas of the world, the Ethereums of the world, right? And in that same sense, like if you throw in like just the size of it, 48 billion, dude, it's like literally a cough. And then you consider, let's say, assets, right? Assets under for like stock, what is it, like 48 trillion, 50 trillion, and then you have debt, which is almost three times was it like 300 trillion, and I think it's real estate. Isn't real estate like 360 trillion?
Yeah,
$380 billion.
Yeah, it's not even calculable depending on how you value China and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the U.S. I'm sure there's some
this
database.
Is U.S. market.
Oh yeah, I mean, just Manhattan's $1 trillion. I mean,
yeah. So we're talking this major. So this is where I'm saying, like, when these guys write these articles, it's as if it's just like you said. Honestly, I think it maybe just through an AI, because sounds maybe like somebody said, all right, do this and do that, and they did it, and then they just posted it. Because I mean, that's not. I mean, unless I'm wrong. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that there's so much garbage out there. Even just reading these things on, and I'm not going to pick on any one site because they all do a somewhat decent job for the limited budgets that they have and stuff like that. But like, oh, they updated it. There was two articles in this over here that conflicted with each other. It's that one article said Bitcoin to the moon, and the other one was Bitcoin, into the sewer.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like they don't have a proper editor. And the news goes out that it just and I go on this topic not because I just want to criticize someone. And whoever's given us the clapping hands and thumbs up on LinkedIn, I appreciate it. That must be my friend Eve from Germany. Hold on, I think Eve is watching us in Germany right now, and it's Friday evening there, and he's probably had a beer or two. So Eve, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We're international today, everyone. We're international today.
We're international.
And now they're laughing. Yes, I must have been right. But anyway, I say this because I keep telling everybody we're about education, not just to bring education to the viewers, but I use it to educate myself as well. And I find myself reading articles that conflict with each other and then starting to open my mouth to talk. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Those are, I'm going to say something that's wrong because I read this article first versus that one. So you got I guess the lesson of the day here is when you are doing your research on the various crypto news sites, be wary that what you're reading is probably badly written, but just may be an opinion, and it's not titled opinion, like just the people when they say to the moon or down to the moon, or to the center of the earth, going the other way. It may be just opinion, and not based on anything other than what the writer wanted to write about that day to get clicks. So be careful of that. But there's a lot in the news. You had sent me something to talk about a little bit ago, Pedro, and I can't. My Telegram crashed out on me here.
It's all right. It's just in Telegram. Let me just go to our chat. No, but I was saying that I think of what I find really interesting in all of, let's say, crypto, and is we have so many moon boys. I mean, I gotta love it. I mean, the reality is anybody literally can make it in Bitcoin. Anyone. I don't care who you are. You could be, I mean, I have a guy, he was a mod in the Philippines, right? He was great. And we paid the guy $50 a week, right? The mod, he did a great job, phenomenal, right? The kid invested that money into a couple projects, literally, and turned it into like $70,000-$80,000.
Ooh.
Like, yeah. Like legit, it was just gotten lucky, boom, boom, boom. You don't understand. It changed this man's life, or not. He's a kid, now he went off to school. He's becoming a mariner, and he's doing all this dope stuff. And what I find more interesting in everything is that he sits there, and he's like, to the moon. Like, he's just looking for that next pump. Like let's go. So it's really interesting.
Alyssa comes back and says, do you have Discord? Should I keep entertaining this one? Yeah, I think I'm going to see where that one goes before I have to moderate the Twitter feed. Space Cat, you said you have to stop using YouTube. Go ahead and switch over to Twitch, and you can watch it there. And
entertain it, because you know what? Again,
it's engagement.
Entertainment, engage it. Like, let's not stop it. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
because here's the thing.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, because here's the thing in all of that, right? Is as we keep going, we're going to get a lot of those. And that's going to be a good thing, because then it does draw in other people who actually, so for example, for whatever reason, I had this bot that actually tied me to a post. But I saw somebody on that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Right. And so it took me to that page, and then it took me onto a rabbit hole that was so cool. I learned a lot of stuff. But if it wasn't for that bot that actually tagged me, I'm like, I would have never discovered this whole entire new avenue of way of looking at things. So listen, you don't know who that bot happens to tag, and then they tag, and then they find us. So it's a crazy world out here, and the rabbit hole is deep.
It's total. Totally deep. That's right. Oh, this is a video. Sorry, I was just preparing for the next part of the show by bringing up the Safemoon stuff, but it's a video, not a.
Well, here's the thing I love about Safemoon, right? Is like at the first, the entire point is the community. The community was huge with it.
Oh, it was
and
massive.
Dude, you couldn't. There was no way of stopping them. Like literally, no way of stopping. They were amazing. And literally everybody's coming together. It was a deep community. People were hanging out together, becoming friends. Probably people who got married because of Safemoon.
I bet so. I bet you there's people alive today because there was a consummated relationship there.
They for real, right? They were like, "Thank you, Safemoon. I'm here because
thank you, John Corey and Tom Smith. Thank you very much."
Yeah. But in the same sense, because of Safemoon, man, I mean, how much money these guys steal? Talking millions.
Oh, yeah.
Millions.
Well, here, I got the article up here on the screen here. Firm's executives were arrested last month on multiple charges, but let's go back to the indictment. Arrested, accused of withdrawing more than $200 million to buy luxury cars and homes from the fund they told investors were locked. Once again, to repeat the story for you laymen out there, what they did is they withdrew money from the liquidity and used it for themselves. Not taxing, like the tax that comes out of it, because the tax is disclosed up front. So the SEC doesn't really care about that because it's well known what the tax is. The tax is going to marketing, it's going to operations, it's coming out to do that. It's well disclosed. Everybody knows it. It's not hidden. But what they did is they took money out of the LP pool. When their LP was $5 billion at one point.
I was going to say, it was like $5 billion.
Yeah, and they could take out $200 million and barely even notice, and or just take the LP tokens, and burn the Safemoon. The LP tokens come in a pair. For those of you who don't understand them, and they would take the Safemoon side of it, burn that, and then take the BNB side of it and just put it in their wallets. And that's not right. The LP is the money from people putting money into the project. And so it needs to be there when people pull money out of the project. If you take money out of the LP, what you're doing is artificially lowering the price and everyone's value for yourself. If you disclose that up front and said every month we're going to take $1 million out of the LP just as another tax, that's different. It's different. It's disclosed. It's part of it. And everyone knows they're getting less value for their money. But these guys took $200 million. and funny thing is they all bought McLarens. They didn't win Lambo it. They win McLaren it. I guess that's a Utah thing, Not exactly sure about that. But they arrested the team and all that. Earned $200 million for the project, as detailed in the SEC complaint. As alleged, the defense deliberately misled investors and diverted millions of dollars to fuel their greedy scheme and enrich themselves. God, they make it sound like that's bad. I mean, enriching yourself is the goal of everyone in investing. Not by
who doesn't try to enrich themselves?
Right. Porsche and other luxury vehicles, yada, yada, yada. Nagy, known as Safemoon Dev, Caroni, Captain Hoddle, Smith, known as Papa, were charged with conspiracy. I still don't think they found Nagy, whatever his name is. He's on the run.
Yeah.
Safemoon fell more than 30%. That was a couple of weeks ago. And then yesterday, crypto company filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 7, I believe, is protection from your creditors, not liquidation. I think liquidation is Chapter 11 or 13 or whatever it is. It says between 50 and 99 creditors. Interesting enough, they're not treating Safemoon token holders as creditors because it's, in theory, separate. They have 10 million and 50 million assets and owes between 100 and 500,000. That's obviously not correct. Because if you only owe 500,000 and you have 10 million in assets, then you're not bankrupt. So something's amiss in this article too. Like I've been talking about, people don't write good articles.
AI wrote it.
Yeah. Chapter 7 bankruptcy's result, or it summarized the larger article and it cut out part of it that said they had maybe they have a $500 million debenture bond that they owe, and it just didn't take into that account. results in debtors actively liquidated to repay creditors. Safemoon executives were arrested last month. But anyway, this is what happened to the chart for Safemoon. This part was the arrest over here, that big red thing. And then here was the yesterday when everyone
that was the last little bit.
Like people are like, screw it, this isn't coming back. But what's interesting about this topic though, Pedro, just
it's
like
still could come back though.
It's still like Luna. Luna's classic
like
is coming.
Luna. Look at Luna. Luna is nuts. So listen, never discount. I mean, it's shocking. Do Kwon, the man is on the run, literally trying to dodge and run. Like it's like Muhammad Ali, like going around he's just ducking and diving. He's just, rope-a-dope and trying to get away. And the reality is, as we're sitting there watching this, his whole entire system is literally still running and making money because of the community, people. It's nuts. I'm sorry. Safemoon, go ahead, Striking.
Oh, I was just gonna say we had King Kaching come in the house, and so I didn't know if you heard him play his. Heard the Kaching. I don't know. I can't. Let me try one more time. See if it comes through. Oh, there we go. That worked.
I literally have a friend of mine. I'm not joking. He's still holding Luna, right? And what blows me away is once he said, because I called him recently, I said, "Are you going to cash?" He goes, "Yeah, once I reach 100,000," which he's very close. He's going to take it and buy a house in the valley. Because I said, wait till interest rates go down. Potentially they very much could go down over the next year, and you can get a good rate again.
Right.
And so he's sitting there watching the price, and once he sells off, he'll pay his taxes on it, and then he's got a house. And I'm just like, all from a failed coin because of the community.
All right, here's the Safemoon drop off yesterday on the 5-minute chart. Every 5 minutes, looks like someone was just spinning out the max that they could do every few minutes, or a bunch of people were just selling off, and then you notice it gets down. Look, I'm doing the chart analysis now here, using the old poo coin, and then we had a little bump. Someone said, "Hey, this could be a play. I'm putting some money into it," and then it jumped right up. But then, of course, it slowly is just bleeding right off there. They're hoping to start a run on it, but I'm guessing whoever this was here that bought hoped to start some quick FOMO going back up, but they probably just started selling all the way down here to recoup their money before they lost it all.
Lost it, and it's sad, dude. But you want to know something though? That could also, who are they tied to? Is it BNB that they're tied to?
Yeah, although they did launch an ETH contract, I believe.
Okay. Because I'm looking at BNB, and BNB the last few days, like I said, we've seen a nice little pump. Now it's kind of consolidating here. But in the same sense, as you're looking at BNB, if it's moving up, potentially that would be, so would Safemoon, because it's tied to it. It's paired to it.
Too bad, Space Cat. Somebody on Twitch took your name. Sorry about that, Pedro. Just interrupted you there. Oh, Pedro must have the drilling going on again.
I am here. What's up? What's going on?
I was just responding to a Space Cat comment, and when you went quiet, I'm like, oh, the drilling must be going on again.
Yeah. But what's interesting is that even though, so BNB is going down, so it's just got to exasperate the sell-off with everybody, because that definitely messes with the whole entire system. So it's really, really fun to actually sit there and see what's actually going on here, because, well, I wonder if there's going to be a comeback for them, and because there's still a lot of money, right? Or did they steal it all?
No, there's still $18 million on the BNB LP pool, and in ETH it looks like there is only 1.5 million in liquidity. Obviously, here, let me bring this is the ETH chart. Over there was the big sell-off from the arrest, and then here, the bankruptcy filing yesterday. Their ETH contract never really did that well, just because so many people, money was really tied up in Safemoon. It wasn't that so many people wanted to get in and trade it. It was just kind of tied up in there waiting, hoping it would moon again, but really it was just tanking out as everybody slowly bled it to death. But here's the thing, just like with FTX, new owners are going to come in. When you file bankruptcy like that, generally the bankruptcy court says, all right, this is not a get out of free jail clause. You're going to have to give up your ownership, and the bankruptcy receiver, go into receivership, will take over. And I'm unclear over Chapter 7 versus Chapter 11. And the difference is Chapter 13, I believe, is full liquidation. Just liquidate the thing and be done with it. Chapter 7 is a reorganization. If anyone's a wizard of that that's listening, feel free to let me know. But they'll get some new owners. The court will own it for a while and appoint someone to oversee it. Let's see. There's $18 million in LP left. There's probably some corporate funds in there. I'll volunteer to do it. That would be good.
Exactly. Pay myself $500,000 a year.
Right. No, just like the guy from FTX paying himself $2,500 an hour and billing 10 hours a day. Just unbelievable. Crazy. But anyway, so there'll be new owners, and the new owners will have options. They will probably buy the assets of the company after settlement of claims for nothing. And they'll have the opportunity to probably just sell the name, the brand, or they'll try and kickstart the contract and bring back the exchange, and call it, Safemoon Classic or Safemoon New or To the Moon Safe or whatever, and see if they can
rebrand and resell.
Right, and when you don't have the legacy issues holding you down, but you still have a community. I mean, imagine if a somewhat reputable person bought Safemoon and said, "All right, we've got this community. Let's supercharge this thing and get it going." They could turn it around. It could happen. I mean,
absolutely,
it could happen.
You know what's interesting? If you could actually go through rebrand it, like I'm going to use this for example. Look, so if we look at FTT right now, right, or excuse me, FTT, but FTX right here, right now, right, you can sit here and see right now FTX, right, since last year, okay, which we started having issues, right? But look, in November, what did it do? It spiked up. It's like falling apart here. And the community with FTX, literally, look, I mean, this is just impressive. By the way, it did hit my zone here, so which is kind of epic. I'm like, yeah, bro. So it blew through 2, but I am impressed that I did catch the bottom here. And you could have literally caught at this, whoever these people were right here, right? They literally bought in at the bottom here. Look at this. I mean, I think it's brilliant, right? Crazy. And look, and if you can see, it's basically a buck, 97 cents, and right now it's trading for $4. This is with Sam Bankman-Fried, whatever his name is, Fried, SBF. Dude, this man destroyed this company, and look at what the community is doing.
What date was that there?
Oh, the pump?
Yep.
The day before is the 8th of November. And you can see right here, it literally jumps from $1.15 all the way up to $5, $5.50.
What?
In 2 days.
What the hell?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. But what I'm saying, community. This is the difference between Apple and FTX. If I'm just being honest, right? Like this is, and so jumping back to fair value, we saw that they're trying to regulate the FTO. Why can't I say it?
Faster than light? FTX?
No, not faster than light. So here's the thing. The reason I want to bring this up, because this is, I think, an interesting thing about crypto, right? Is that in crypto, it's really based off the community. If strong community will support and actually go through and keep a coin going until, i.e. look at SHIB, right? SHIB was literally wrecked twice, right? Before it really took off. And in that same spot, we see it can keep coming back because the community behind it.
What was the FTX drop here from here to here? What was the
date?
No, not the date. What's the number? What's the spread there?
Oh, dude, $25.
Damn.
Whoever shorted this Literally, I mean, because there were shorts going on in this. It had to be shorts. There's no way that.
Oh,
I mean, yes, people are selling,
I
but
remember one
on the
guy telling me he said short, basically short this, and then used a four-letter word, uh,
yeah.
and then it said it's a piece of beep, uh, and I was like, and at the time I had no account that I could short with, and I was like, oh, I should do that, and literally the next day it went all the way down like that, and the guy, he posted his gains on it. It was like plus 10,000%, you know.
Yep. Yep. That's the truth. Like it. That's the point behind this. Now look, all of that, it all settles. Who's there holding the bags? It's the community. So new CEO gets. This is probably the CEO. The new CEO probably got established here in November. When did he get indicted? It was in October, right? And then
Yeah.
so
Yep.
he might have went to jail here, and the CEO got established here, and they took over social media, and then boom, this is what we're gonna do with it. We got $18 million. We're gonna create some new different type. And here's the thing. I mean, all they got to do is put a good tax system in it. They've got to go through, reestablish some decent protocols, right, within, to bring money in. They had a whole entire exchange. So it's not like as if like I mean, they had the framework. It's like they had a good framework. The only problem is the one running the ship was just whacked out. So I mean, and maybe before he got whacked out and became a billionaire, which he totally probably lost track of reality. Which when you're, I mean, realistically bringing in just off of your money alone, not even income, but your money alone, just sitting at 2% in crypto. We all know 2% ain't nothing. That's nothing, right? Like annually. I mean, you're talking if you ain't making 2% on a weekly basis, you're mad. You're like Win Moon, right? So he was probably making 1 to 2% off of that weekly, easily. And if you think about that, this man is a millionaire. We're talking he's making $10,000 a week, $20,000. So he has no concept of reality. So for him to sit there and play the day-to-day game here, there's no way. There's just no way. So the people left holding this bag here are the ones who are sitting there going, okay, we got 30 million. We've got a decent system here. We've got an exchange. We've got certain setups. Let's see what we can do. And boom, you're seeing it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that we are seeing it. We're seeing it for sure. And I kind of tend to think that here, the buyers that went in there, I have to think that at some point, Sam or another insider on behalf of Sam or something like that took some hidden money they had or whatever and bought that. Wait, we're still looking at FTX, right? Yeah. And bought that just to show people, like, it's not dead. You know what? No matter what, because what's his name? The new CEO, the bankruptcy CEO, John Jay. Is that his name? John Jay.
Jingle Smith?
Yeah, Jingle Smith. I can't remember his last name. His middle name is Jay, after John Jay of New York.
Yeah. Keep going.
I totally lost my train of thought. But is doing that to say, because the CEO says, no, this thing's a turd. We're going to reorganize, and it's not going to be based on the FTX token. If we can get the exchange going, it'll be just, without a token. And then all of a sudden it starts pumping here in November, when, like, basically when Sam got convicted. So, you kind of think these markets are manipulated so much in these style of tokens that you have to think that something's going on.
Potentially, very much. Maybe grabbing for the liquidity push before they switch things around, or even coming into a new. I mean, it could.
Hold on, we got Mike in the house.
Oh, sure.
Oh, it's not playing well.
That's breaking up really bad. That's breaking up.
Let's try
what up,
that
Mikey? It's good to see you, man.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, Mike. Thanks for joining in. He says, sorry I'm late again. Well, we started late, too. We were at 1:15 today instead of 1. Anyway, having a good discussion about Safemoon earlier, having a discussion about other projects that have failed and come back from the dead. Like
Literally.
FTX here, literally coming back from the dead, talking about Luna coming back from the dead. And not just like, oh, yeah, it's okay. I mean, this one 4x in a matter of 10 minutes. Luna has 10x since its bottom. 10x.
Yeah, 10x. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's okay. Stocks take 40 years. 40 years to 10x.
I know.
And it's like saying they're perfect. It's like Enron. It's like literally Enron going through and in a year literally saying and bottoming out, being at 0 or 1 cent, right? And filing for chapter 7, right? By the way. Oh, good, man. Good. I'm good. FTX idea, right?
Something fishy.
Something fishy. Absolutely. But what I find so interesting is with that situation, we know like Enron's dead, no more, and there's no way of even resurrecting it, right? But lo and behold, boom, it just 10x's within a year. Like literally, like it's just from the bottom. Now, granted, if you look at the whole entire scale of things where it was, obviously it's not. But it's just the fact that it can go from 1 cent to 10 cents is impressive, right?
It's because it has significant LP in it. It's not like it's the ratio is 0.001, so one buy of $20 triples the price, or something like that. There's still, I mean, there's a lot of volume went in here. I mean, and just as much volume went into buying it here as, well, not just as much, but a significant amount is when the sells happened.
Yeah, sometimes, I think what's interesting is just sitting there and looking at the whole entire thing and sit there and saying, in crypto, nothing's ever dead. And the best part behind it is you can get something that was once dead can come back alive. It's we need to call it the Lazarus effect. Lazarus effect. Because you just don't know if Jesus is going to say, come forth! And that thing, it rises from the dead. You just don't
Wait, that's
know.
the Phoenix. Phoenix is rising from the dead.
Phoenix.
Right, Lazarus is the one that...
Well, he was dead.
Right.
He was dead. Jesus raised him from the dead. He's like his best friend. And whatever it is. Phoenix, Lazarus, it's all the same right now. So, but what I'm saying, though, is the reality is that you can take something that is literally dead and dead, like Enron dead. Actually, it's even better. Actually, Enron is actually not even as good. Let's take Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, right? Which was the grade A of exchanges and brokerages, right? Here in traditional finance. And they say, and all of a sudden we find out it's all just ran on paper clips and gum, right? And all of a sudden everything just falls apart. Goldman Sachs would never be around. There's just no way. And all of a sudden, imagine it would go from $300, $400, whatever it's sitting at right now, down to 0, right? And then all of a sudden...
Like Lehman Brothers.
Yes, exactly. Like Lehman Brothers, exactly. And in the same sense, you see it. And so that's a difference here between FTX right now. That's more of an equivalent value for crypto, right? Make sure we understand, because obviously there's a major difference between FTX and Goldman Sachs. But I want to use the analogy of, if somebody's listening to us who catches this down the road with TriFi, and if in the future they take this way out of context, blow me way out of proportion. That's funny, right? Watch in 5 years from now, and somebody takes this clip and blows away out of proportion. Says he's an idiot, and it's like, wait, I'm actually talking about. Anyways, okay, getting back to the point here. But what I'm saying though is this: it comes through, it bounces off of my demand zone, by the way, which is pretty dope. I did have 2 other ones here, so but either way, it still bounced off.
Bounced off of 0, amazing.
Actually, no. It bounced from, what was it at? $1. It's like $1.15 or something like that, whatever it is. Or no, 97 cents. But either or, we're watching these things actually happening in real time. I promise you, in 20, 30 years, I can't see this stuff happening, right? Crypto, when it matures and things start to there's no way you're going to see an FTX actually happen again. But in today's world, in this economy, in this crazy, funny economy, upside down craziness, where 1 month, T-bills are kicking more interest out than a 10-year note or a 10-year bond or for the interest rates. That just blows me away. Anyways, okay, I'm going on a rant today.
No, I like it.
It's crazy up in these
It's
streets.
Friday, man. We got to get a
Crazy.
little crazy on Friday. All week I was wearing shirts with the button-down shirts when we had guests and all that, and then yesterday and
Yeah.
today I'm like, it's T-shirt time with
It's
the old
striking.
striking balls and the Bitcoin shirt yesterday. So we get a little crazy here. We can take the rant, or
Definitely.
the claim of glory by having it bounce off of your mark there.
I'll take it. Hey, do us a favor, guys. Hit that like, subscribe button. We'd appreciate it again. Hit that share button. Send it out to your friends. It would really help us quite a bit. Now,
Welcome
one of the things
everybody. Please comment, like, share, and follow. Just do it. We have 4 people watching us on LinkedIn right now. Thank you. LinkedIn's been good to us all week. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And we have, I don't know, we've had so far pretty good, up to 22 people watching on YouTube. That's the behind the scenes one. The front end one, still YouTube still says you've got 1 viewer, which I can't
Hey,
stand.
I'll still take 1, man. I'm cool with 1, man. Listen, you give us 1 as long as I'm getting as long as I'm getting point zero zero seven off of every one of these people watching, that's a good thing. Listen, because when we start hitting tens of thousands of people on every single one of these, listen,
Woo!
that'll be some money. That'll be woo.
And like
Either
we
way.
always say, there's a like button down here, whatever platform you're watching us on. If you're watching us on YouTube, there's the thumbs up. If you're watching us on Twitch, there's some, I don't know what it is on Twitch, some follow button or hearts or something. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, there's the follow, connect, share, notify. There's the, if you're watching it on desktop or you or your phone, there's the buttons for clapping and all that stuff. All that stuff helps drive the algorithm and
Yes.
engagement to help get the word out about our show.
Yeah, hit that. When you see those, whoever, I don't know who's hitting that heart button, but we appreciate that. And if you guys can actually hit those heart buttons, like that does help because that's engagement. And if there's more people hitting those, they just like the algorithm sends us out to more people. And I look forward to the day where we could actually almost be almost like an actual radio show where we literally cover all the news happening in crypto 24. Well, I was say 24/7.
Yeah, let's
But
not get
where
crazy
it's
now.
kick, yeah, right, exactly. But I mean, who knows, right? I mean, dude, if we could pay people in Asia, right, to host this, right, nonstop, where
Yep.
you can come and get crypto, and then when we come on board, man, we sit there, we take over for the U.S. session. You know what I'm saying? Where we're getting 10, 20,000 viewers at one point in time. We're talking that's big money, big money. So I mean, but that's down the road potentially. But my biggest thing is this is. And this is where I want to kind of hit because right now I sent you that that article based on the fair value of Bitcoin, right?
Yep, I've got
And
it. I've got it up right here. This one, the market
yeah,
cycle or fair value.
the fair value. And both are important to pay attention to, right? So when we look at the fair value of a company here in traditional or in TriFi, right? We look at the books. We look at leadership. We look at contracts coming in, contracts leaving. There's a lot of metrics in which we can actually sit there and quantify the value of a real asset in the world, right? I.e., let's say if you're John Deere or Home Depot, you've got a lot of assets in your actual businesses. So in case you go belly up, you can then take those and sell those on the open market and be able to send money to your creditors and basically make them, well, I don't want to say make them whole, but at least do their best to get some money back if you go belly up as an entity or business. Now, what's interesting is in crypto, it's really more or less based on community, not necessarily even assets under management / because crypto goes up and down. I mean, we were at $3 trillion literally at its peak, right, of the last bull run. And then we dropped down to 0.5 trillion. It was 500 million at its bottom.
Right.
Bitcoin's that. So you do not, first of all, in traditional finance, you don't see that in the stock market. I think in 2008, I think it was at like 20 trillion and dropped down to 10 trillion, right? And that turned the world upside down. It's called the Great Recession, right? We all remember that. Everybody and their mama was affected. And if you were barely alive, you had trauma, PTSD just from your parents talking about it, okay? So, but every 4 years we go through these cycles here in Bitcoin, and when we see these big huge fluctuations, how do you sit there and quantify the fair value of something and future value, right? is like, okay, well, we know every 4 years we go through these cycles. So how do you sit there and call a fair value on something? That's just, it just, I don't understand how a government is going to be able to sit there and do that. Yeah, pumps, BTC pumps, exactly.
Pumps,
and they all
ETH
cycle.
pumps, alts pump,
Yep.
mid caps, market drops, micro caps pump, market goes sideways, memes pump, shib, market bleeds, shib, scam, anger, fear, final dump. And look, it puts the Matic.
Dude, that's so bad. Oh, Matic. XRP. I mean, but I bring this up again because here's the thing. This is a 4-year cycle that happens. That I don't think Mr. Stats. I can't even say. Forgive me, my peoples. What is his name?
Satoshi
Yakamoto. Dear Lord, I'm on a rant.
Suzuki Kamasaki.
Yes, when he went out there and he wrote the Bitcoin paper, I don't think he envisioned this. But I don't think he would also, or she, or entity, whoever or whatever it was, right? Or if it's non-binary, binary, whatever it be, LGBTQ, whatever it be, all right? However it is, and however it's going, when he envisioned, when they or him, her, whatever it be, again, I'm not going to go through that again, wrote that paper, I don't think they thought crypto would turn out to be what it is today. But I promise you this, nor do I think that whoever it was who wrote it envisioned so many millionaires and so many third world countries actually being able to run an economy without being gouged by the US destroying lives. I mean, I think that was so beautiful during, COVID, when, Mexico had interest rates of over 200-300% in some areas, and people could actually go into an actual exchange and get a loan off of their crypto at 5%, 6%. I think it was even lower than that. I think it was like 4% or 3% for some of them. So I just think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's something that, and how do you, and it's just, I think we're too early to be able to create a fair value on it, and we're still really immature. It's like, the 1990s, early 2000s with the .com, right? And entities that got built. It wasn't until 2004, where you really started seeing a stabilization with Google, with Yahoo,
right,
with search engines, and understanding that, right? Which gives us, Web 2.0, or was it Web 2.2, whatever it be, whatever we're on right now.
SpaceCat, the YouTube video is set up to be about a 7-second delay right now. So it says 2:15 right now. You can always hover around there, use your finger, your mouse, whatever, and a little live button comes up. If it's red next to it, you're live. If not, just double click it and it'll shoot you over to live. I don't know where SpaceCat comes from exactly, but I do know it's Canada. And I think he lives in a community where the internet's just a little slow. Anyway, I got speaking of the news, I got the Argentina president up here. Just said there's no money, ladies and gentlemen, and his fight, apparently not fight, but his push to eliminate the ministries in the government from like 40 something to 9 did indeed happen like that, and he's reducing the spending down to just 5% of GDP, which I think it was at 40 or 50. I mean, he's reducing his budget by, a huge amount, and said he would apply the state reduction policies he announced during his campaign, including government expenditure cut of 5% of GDP, not to 5% of GDP, saying the state had no money left. Nonetheless, the process of achieving another president's promises, who had said he would close the central bank of Argentina to dollarize the economy. And I'm bringing this up not because, another country is reliant on the U.S. dollar, which is good for the U.S., but it's likely going to mean reliant on stablecoin dollars. And, they will, because I am guessing that the bright people of Argentina, and if anyone's watching on the live from Argentina, please let me know. But if you're watching on the repeat, drop a comment and let me know if you have moved some of your personal wealth into stable coins based on the US dollar, as your inflation rate hovers around 100%. And most people, I would say most people in Argentina have, when you have 100% inflation, nobody keeps their money in your local currency. As soon as you get paid, you convert it to dollars somehow. You convert it to, now stable coins. I'm sure there's a black market in Argentina for actual United States $100 bills that the rate is different than what it is on the public exchange rate, so it's probably much worse. But I am more than certain that a lot of people, that one of the reasons why you see in the market cap pump and tether is Argentina. Not so much Turkey anymore. They've got their inflation under control. Mostly, but in other countries that are having really high inflation, now that people can just drop their money in on a crypto exchange and switch it out to stablecoin. It's
well, I think you bring up a really good point, because looking at it from a very simple standpoint, when I look at the 100% inflation, right, especially in Argentina, but that's not the only place, right? There's a few countries out there that deal with this on a regular basis, or if not at 40%, because as the fluctuations, if they're not tied to the dollar, which there are countries out there that are not, they have these swings. So it's going to be really interesting to see as things keep going crazy here in the U.S. Potentially, do we see this happening a lot, or what are your thoughts on that? I mean, a lot of companies going out of the way to change things. Excuse me, not companies, but countries.
Okay, I was going to say, companies going to change things. The only thing they're trying to change is the money from your wallet into their wallet. That's
Ka-ching!
That's the only thing they're trying to change. Countries, it's a crapshoot. Every country is different, and the problem is, as I'm a very, very jaded fellow after traveling the world for a number of years, doing business around the world, is that most countries are crap, and the people are in charge. I mean, people complain about the establishment being in charge in the U.S., but it's just not the case compared to most countries of the world. Most countries of the world, the establishment is the entire country and is the entire wealth and is the government, and they take everything, and they don't make decisions best for the country like the guy from Argentina is doing. They make decisions best for their own pockets, and if the country sucks, doesn't matter. They're spending half the year in Paris anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm a little jaded on that, as they say, and I don't think the countries are trying to generally improve everything altruistically. There's obviously some countries that, especially ones that have benevolent dictators, I shouldn't say dictators, benevolent governments, like the UAE and Bahrain and somewhat Qatar and Kuwait. And for that matter, I mean, everyone gives the Saudis grief about their political policies around the world, but they take care of their own people very well and what's going on. And the same with the guys in the UAE. They have the United Arab Emirates. They're in essence a benevolent monarchy. They're the sovereign leaders of the country. They can do whatever they want. They're not even subject to the law, unlike in England where the monarch is subject to the law. But they're benevolent, and so they do things altruistically and what's best for the country and their long-term health. That's a good thing, but most countries around the world, especially when you travel through Africa and South America and stuff, it's just like bad elites stealing the money from the poor saps that are the chumbalones of the country. So I don't know if that actually answered your question or you thought where that was going, but that's where that went. Let's see. Crypto Mike says, I don't touch U.S. dollars. No need for them here, thankfully. Sorry, U.S. friends. Yeah, until the Canadian currency starts sinking, and then suddenly you're like, I think I will switch over to some American dollars. Like a couple of years ago, I had a work contract here in Canada that was based on Canadian dollars, and it was, and I had to buy everything, and most stuff I had to buy was in U.S. dollars. And the currency exchange went in my favor, and all of a sudden, U.S. dollars are like, woohoo, yeah, baby. We made a lot more margin on that because the currency went in my favor. Yeah, right. Mike says true. Until then, well, the Canadian currency has been hovering right around 75 I'm sorry, $1.25 Canadian for $1 US. Pretty stable for a while. A couple years ago, it got up to like 85 cents. And then, as we know, many years ago, it got to 1-to-1 for a short period of time. But then the establishment said, none of that anymore. We got to devalue this. We need to have a common currency for North America. Space Cat, we do. It's called the US dollar.
I was about to say it's called the US dollar.
I know. I shouldn't say that, but we do. Even when a lot of the contracts the Canadian government puts out with public works, a lot of them are denominated in US dollars too, because they don't want countries to have the currency exposure. When you not countries, the bidders, when you need to have a level playing field, and you need in your own country doesn't generate enough competition for bidders, you have to ensure that international bidders come for your contracts. You have to sometimes denominate things in the stronger currency, and so I'm jaded on that, of course. And it says, then Mike says, remember the few years we were above? Yes, a very short amount of time. I think it was 1 or 2 cents above. Oil money was good then. Yeah, it was good then. Not so much anymore. Space Cat says, I remember when I was younger, our Canadian currency was worth more than the American dollar. Yeah, for a short period of time. Quickly, just to change topics real fast as we get towards the end of the show here. The Bitcoin hash rate declined for the first time since September. It got easier, which means that some mining is coming off. I don't know why. I don't track where the mining pools are strongest and all that. I'm just starting to follow that industry. But I'm guessing, even though it's banned in China, 20% of the mining still comes from China, and so I'm guessing that got tuned down a little bit, so they eased the Bitcoin hash rate. Let's see, what other news that I have stuck up here. No, this is where I got the bankrupt from Wheel of Fortune, the bankrupt logo for it. Yeah, Ledger confirms its exploit was caused by the phishing scam. I mean, come on. This is in DeFi. We had to put up with just one software library that like 100 million people use to connect to dApps and connect their wallet to crypto websites. And all someone had to do is phish one guy in that organization, and it affects everybody, the whole crypto sphere. That's ridiculous. Let's see, what was the other one I had? Oh yeah, we were talking about Bonk yesterday, Pedro, and it's surging again. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, Pedro, you've dropped off here. I'm guessing you have the construction going on in the background, the vacuums and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But what I wanted to say was that it is time for us to drop off on this Friday. But before we do that, can you hit Kaz and Shib for us?
Yeah, let's go and hit well, first of all, Mr. Beast, aka Bitcoin here. Just to reiterate real quick, expect a little consolidation potentially throughout the weekend, or if we do, you want to see a sell-off below that 41,000, and or if it continues to go up here, expect to hit the supply zone up here at that $45,000 to $48,000 in that area. Thank you, Mr. Beast, aka Bitcoin. Next thing here, real quick, I'll jump into Shiba Inu. Where are you guys? Right up here. SHIB is looking pretty interesting. It's following what Bitcoin is doing. Like I said, expect if Bitcoin does start to see a sell-off, we should see on SHIB a sell-off down to the 0.8 or 0.583-ish area. And if we do continue up, we should get to the top of this supply zone here, which is going to be the 1134 area-ish. So expect those type of movements over the weekend. Now let's check out cash. Here we go. Boom. You can see here, again, we're starting to see again a little bit of a sell-off for me. I'm looking to purchase this, like I said, just small bags at this point right here. Like whatever you would want to put in, but I look to kind of catch at a low, start my bag at that 11 cent, but really looking more at that 8 cent mark, 7 cent, and as well as the 4 cent area ish here, simply because if we see Bitcoin sell off, this is also going to see a pretty strong sell off as well, because it's going to follow Bitcoin. So that's something to be paying attention to. But either way, like I said, those price points are great price points, great areas to get in. And then additionally to that, look to see where you want to place your bag here, because a lot of people, there's a huge community here. People love this coin. And in additionally to that, they really do have a pretty decent tag and how they're setting things up. So it's really interesting to see. And people are saying it's a better value than Bitcoin, which for me, I think, I don't know about that one, but either way, it's still nice. That's in a nutshell, my peoples.
All I know is that the speed of their blockchain is something else, like a couple of blocks per second or something like that. I like that. I don't like the long block time where most of the stuff in there is MEV bot and mempool manipulation. Don't like that at all. But like the quick blocks, bang 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 bang, get everything taken care of. I like that a lot. Before we go, if anyone's got anything else they want to see, let us know. Let's feed the algorithm machine with a little XRP, some Ripple XRP stuff, and see what's going on there.
We can do a little, we'll check out XRP here. And I got to head out of here because I got my man over here working. He's probably getting annoyed with me. I apologize. I'm about to get off right now. Here we go. Let's check out XRP here real quick. XRP, like I said, has been kind of going sideways. I expected XRP to do something bigger than what we're seeing right now. Again, what scares me is that if we continue down, this is going to put in another lower high, which will then, as I always say, another lower low. And so again, those next points are literally that 53 cent mark. And if it goes lower than that, then listen, this baby's coming down to 45 cent area. So it's just those small entities. It's just weak right now, and not to say that the community isn't strong, but just the coin itself right now, whether they're using that for legal things that they got to pay things, or whether they're kind of like, I don't know, Safemooning it. Who knows? I don't know, right? Like in crypto, we all thought FTX was solid like a rock. So hey, sometimes the rock is cooking something. So we'll just
solid like a rock.
Rock.
All right, Pedro. Thanks for the good stuff today. We had a fun Friday show here today. And if you've got to run, and I'll wrap up the show here. But thanks everybody. As usual, I'd like to take the time to thank Pedro for his analysis of what's going on in the charts and what the tea leaves are telling him, but also for our sponsor here, Audit Chain. Thank you very much to Audit Chain for being our channel presenting partner. And for Camuso CPA down here for our show product sponsor, and for the fact that if you have crypto accounting issues and tax issues, they're the group to take care of that. Patrick Camuso at Camuso CPA. Go down in the body here, click a link, and you will find it, and you can get an evaluation of your of your crypto tax position, how much good it's going to cost you to make it right, because God forbid nobody's ever going to fix their taxes and get a refund. But anyway, thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for Crypto. Where is that? Crypto Mike Winnipeg. I did play O Canada for you. Okay. Sure, it's nice. It's actually warm here in Ottawa today. But thanks everybody for the show today. Really appreciate it. As I always like to say, tune in again. We'll be with you not at the beginning of next week. Got some travel coming up, heading to Toronto for a little bit. Toronto, as they say, GTA, and then heading to Chicago to see the kids before Christmas. So everyone, I'm sure I'll see you at some point before Christmas, but until then, have a great holiday time. Spend the money at the shopping mall, and don't forget, spend the money on super chats here. Nobody's taking me up on that, but it's maybe $1, just something. Got to beg for it. Keep the engagement going. Oh God, you just get right down on your knees and beg, don't you? Anyway, everyone have a great day and a great weekend. Merry Christmas to everybody.